Okay,
I think we're live. This is our first time using StreamYard, so if there are any problems, I mean, I don't think there will be, but just bear with us. So welcome to our August live show where we'll be discussing The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of AVA Lavender by Leslye Walton. And yeah, we're really excited to discuss this book. We have 5 people here today. We're really excited. So I'm Chloe from the channel Books of Chloe. You're on my channel.
Is that the end of your introduction?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm Spencer. I'm from the channel Comment Spence, and I'm very interested to talk about this book today.
Hi, I'm Jamie from the channel Leo Reads, and I'm also very interested to hear everyone's thoughts.
Yes.
Okay, hi, my name's Isabella, and my channel is Throne of Pages, and yes, a lot of thoughts.
And hello, I'm Jacob from the channel Alchemy Reads, and I guess much like everyone else here, very excited to talk about it.
Okay, I just realized we probably should have said our rating, so we'll just go again in that same. So, okay. And also everyone in the chat, let us know what you gave the book, like what rating you gave it. So, yeah, I was super excited for this book. I actually was going to predict it was going to be a 5-star read for me. And it wasn't a 5-star read. It was actually like a 3 for me. It was definitely like, I had a lot of mixed feelings towards the book. Like I definitely didn't love it, but I definitely didn't hate it. And I was definitely super intrigued the whole time. But I think it just didn't really work for me. We'll obviously talk about all the different reasons, but yeah, I liked it, but it was an interesting read. Okay, Spencer, you can go.
I don't really know how to rate this book, but I feel like I'm gonna go with a 4 because there was a lot of things that I liked, but then there was other parts where I was not feeling it a little bit. So we're gonna get into it, but I think a 4 feels accurate because it felt better than average to me. So I feel like it's more than 3 stars, but we'll find out. Maybe my rating always changes by the end. I feel like I start off like with 5 stars, and by the end I'm like, I hated this book. So I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw a spanner in the works with this one. And at the beginning, I was like, yeah, like solid 3, and now I'm kind of thinking like a low 2. We'll get into it. Yes.
Oh my
Leslye
God, okay.
Walton is shook. I love it.
Okay, when I originally finished it, I gave it like 3.7 stars, but then the more I thought about it, it got into like a 3-star, and just as I keep thinking about it, it just keeps going down and down. So I don't know.
Me?
Yeah, Jacob.
So I went into this with like lower expectations because the history I've had with magical realism books is just not that great. But I pleasantly enjoyed this, and I gave it a 3.5 star. So I had a lot of fun reading it. So
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't hate it, but yeah, well, it's an interesting read. But I'm actually surprised Spencer has the highest rating. Usually you're like, I hate this.
Okay, but I feel like, okay, well then let me just say, I feel like the reason why I like this book is because it's like a double-edged sword, because it reminds me a lot of Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. If anyone, I don't know if anyone here has read that book. Maybe anyone? No. Well, anybody in the chat, if anybody in the chat out there has read Summer of Salt, I should have brought it over here. You would know what I'm talking about. They're very, very similar with their vibe and even some of the story elements. So I really, really liked that book. So I feel like that made me like this book because I did like the atmospheric elements of it. But it definitely, it wandered. I mean, I think I feel like we're going to get there, but like it just wandered so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's one of my main issues is like it was so vague, and usually I like vague stories where you kind of interpret it for yourself, but this one was just a whole new level, and I was just like, I just don't connect. And even the writing, like I was so excited for the writing because everyone said it's like lyrical and like, and I usually love that writing style, but this one
you do
was a bit too this one was a bit too flowery, where I was literally like, yeah, I was like, I just don't even know what's going on. Like, and I don't know, yeah. And I think that writing style also just made me feel disconnected from the characters. Like I did really like some of the characters and thought they were interesting, but I'm not like gonna die for any of them, you know.
Oh. I want to
So-
hear, Jamie. I want to hear from you. I feel
Yeah.
like you're I just feel the energy. I want it. I want it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so at the beginning, I was kind of getting very Night Circus vibes. It was like, okay, we're going to be spanning over like a long period of time. There's like a big cast of characters. Like, I'm into it. And then we were kind of getting like, I was getting on, and I was like, okay, like, where's Ava? Like, I'm a little bit confused as to like what's actually going on. So that's when it was kind of like sitting at a 3. I was like, it's okay, we'll hear the family histories. And then it got to the point where I was just like, character after character was being introduced, and it was just like, I don't know who's who. I'm a little bit like not invested. And then it got to the point where it was like all of Ava's stuff, and I was like not connected to any of the characters. And then there was lots of stuff that was happening that I was like not really okay with. It felt very gratuitous. And it was just, like you said, Chloe, like very vague. And yeah, I usually like that writing style as well. But I felt like while it was quite lyrical and everything, there wasn't enough detail almost, because it was just like a nice quote and then some dialogue and then a very lyrical paragraph. But I still don't really know what's going on.
Exactly. Yeah.
I feel like there are a lot of lines in the book that you can like take out and it would look really pretty in like a poster or something. But then in the actual book, it didn't really add anything to the story. And like, if we had to answer the question, what is this book about? Like, what happens? What can we even say? Like, what happened? Because like,
I mean, it's like one of those weird books where it's like, obviously stuff does happen, but like you said, like if someone was like, write down for me 5 major plot points, you'd be like, I don't know. I can't tell you.
Yep.
I feel like it would have, like, it feels like an anthology to me, like a series of short stories.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Also, I think it would have benefited to be like told in a different like format, like a multimedia type book, like with drawings and stuff.
Oh, I like that.
It would have been a good audio book as well. Anyone?
I see you.
Wait, so what did you say?
It's just such a, I don't know, not a streamlined story. It's just everywhere.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think the format was sort of cool because it's different, but yeah, I think it just didn't 100% work because, for example, like when we're first learning about Emmeline, right? I was like getting really into her story, and then suddenly we're going to Vivian, and I'm like, wait, I didn't fully get to know Emmeline. Like, you know, I'm still, and then
Too bad. Ship has sailed. You got to move on. You got to move with the times.
Yeah, I also.
Oh.
Wait, is my internet working? No.
Yeah, you're good.
Right.
You froze.
I also feel like.
Oh, you're back.
Okay, cool. I also feel like there would be a time where we'd be like talking about Ava or something, and it'd be like fine, getting into it, and then all of a sudden it would veer off into this anecdote about something happened to like Vivian like however many years ago, and I'm like, and it's not even separated by chapters, and I'm like, wait, hang on, and it was just like it was hard, like I don't know how I feel.
It was very like stream of consciousness. Like it would just like one thing flowed into the next thing, but it was not necessarily linear and it did not always make sense. It was just kind of like, I'm writing and this is where we're going. And da, 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 da. It was like, so I'm like, okay, it's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this might be a bit too mean, but I feel like, you know, the lyrical writing was like, just trying to, like, as an excuse to not explain things. You know
No, but I feel that.
She's gonna see you in a parking lot after this. She's gonna roll up. Like, oh, you want to go?
I will sprint the other way.
I'll fight her.
Love it.
And also, like, I was talking about this in my blog. I feel like my expectations when it comes to lyrical and beautiful writing is too high because of Laini Taylor. So this writing, like, I didn't think it was that exceptional. Like, it was good, but, you know.
Shots fired. I mean, I would agree. I feel like, because, like, I'm kind of the opposite of you, to be honest with, like, the group. I feel like When the prose gets more lyrical, I get more like over it. And this was like, I was comfortable with the prose, which is a sign to me that it was not at the level that most people would want it to be at. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So how about we talk about the characters? Like
all 75,000 of them.
No, okay. So, like the main, like Emmeline, Vivian.
Who are the main characters though? Like there's so many characters in this book. It's called Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender, asterisk, and everyone she's ever met in her entire lifetime.
I know. I think they should make that clear.
Yeah. I also just have one thing to say. Her best friend's name was Cardigan.
I feel like that's such a good, like, I was just thinking a minute ago, I feel like everyone in this book was so like quirky, you know what I mean? Like everyone was just like crazy. I'm like, where are just the normal like run-of-the-mill people? Because I feel like I myself am crazy. I know a lot of crazy people, but I like not everyone that I know is like named Cardigan. Okay, come on.
I mean, there was Jack Griffith. He was pretty.
He had a normal name.
No, but he was. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we need to talk about Jack as well. There's a lot to talk about. Actually, hey, before we even talk about that, I just feel like I need to say this.
Oh boy.
But something that I just couldn't sympathize with. I mean, I could to a certain extent, but like, I just don't understand why Vivian took that long to get over Jack. I'm like, oh my god, you were literally teenagers. And like, I understand, like,
it's literally like how many years was it? Like decades.
It took a literal decade.
How many people lived in that town? Like, did you ever see another man?
No,
like,
that was
Gabe
it.
right
He was
there.
the
And
only.
so nice.
There's only 3 men in the story. That's it, and they all suck. So there you go.
And then it took her 10 years to realize that Gabe loved her. She's like, oh, Gabe loves me. I'm like, okay,
I'm like, how stupid could you like? What do you think he's there for? Like, I'm so confused.
It was like, you know, I sort of sympathized to a point, but then it was like going years and years. I'm like, okay, you need to like get over it. And Jack isn't even that cool. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
He's a douche.
Oh, exactly. Like,
Dang.
Jacob just spitting facts.
also, like that scene with Jack and Vivian, I was really confused what even happened.
What scene?
I was like, you're gonna have to be more specific than that.
The scene, like the scene before they don't see each other for years. Like, you know how like she's running away and then Gabe wants to like kill him. Like,
I'm pretty sure they made a baby.
Well,
They made a baby.
yes.
was it like a
Can
sexual
confirm.
with Clay.
Sex was had.
Because wasn't she like annoyed, like she didn't want it or something?
Oh,
Or is
yeah,
that not?
I don't know.
Yeah,
'Cause
they had like remember they like had a fight over that girl because he brought that Laura girl and he was like, I want you to meet this girl. And she's like, I don't want to meet your bae. And then they're just rolling around in the grass. And I don't know.
yeah.
She's like, I hate you, but you're here and it's August. So let's
I
meet. I don't know.
so
I don't know.
I was literally so confused by that scene. Yeah, because it was like she was pissed and then suddenly she's like, but then I was like under him. I was like, what's going on? That was a point where I was like, this is too vague. Like, just explain it.
Just explain it. Well, I'll tell you when you're older. I don't know.
No, like obviously, like anyway.
You almost walked right into that one.
It's funny with Jack. You know Jack? How he tried so hard to like not be like his father, and then he ended up becoming like his father.
Yeah, that was really sad.
Poetic
Man.
justice.
The irony.
Poetic justice, really?
That's what we call metaphor. Allegedly. I don't know. I don't buy it. That's my problem with this. I don't buy half of it. I'm just like, everybody's weird. Everybody's quirky. Everybody hates each other, but then doesn't hate each other. They're trapped, but they're not trapped. I'm kind of like, it's just very much like, what are we trying to say here? You know what I mean?
But then why did you give it 4 stars?
Because
That's so wrong.
because I loved the atmosphere. And what's weird is like I read this so fast, like, And I feel like generally speaking, if I read a book quickly, it's because I'm like invested in it. I mean, also there was a deadline, like let's be real, but like also I found myself easily getting lost in it. And I think the reason that like this is such a stupid reference. Have you guys ever seen that meme video of that guy who's like outside, he's like telling a story and the story makes absolutely no sense? This is not making sense. Anyway, it's like the story felt like that, where it was just like one thing led to another thing led to another thing. So when I was reading it in the middle of it, it felt to me like if you were like around a campfire and your weird aunt was like, let me tell you a story. And then she just like was, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, Susan, she's 3 drinks deep, so let her finish. And that's I just was like very much in it. And so when I came away from it, I was like, I guess I like that. And now I'm here and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I didn't like it. I don't know.
We're going to reconsider everything.
That's what every time I come on this live show, I'm always like, oh, it was great. And then by the end, I'm like, it was 1 star. I hated it. So,
I mean, even talking about it, I feel like it kind of is 2 stars for me because, yeah.
Exactly.
It's just so weird because usually like a 2-star book for me is like, wow, it took me so long to get through. Like it was a drag, but I was invested, but I didn't love it. Like I wanted to see what happened, but yeah, it was just a weird experience. Also, some things were just too weird for me. I'm just like
what?
Well, just even the whole Nathaniel thing. Like obviously that's supposed to be weird, but like I'm just like,
yeah. Did y'all see my tweet? Like I thought this was gonna be like a cute like rom-com, and then I was like, wow. I was like, I hate myself.
I feel like that's one of the problems is that when he was introduced, he was painted as this beautiful human, but he was actually like a monster. And I feel like we never even really got inklings of that in the beginning. It was just like,
yeah.
I know, because it was like he was so pious, and then she was like this feeling he'd never felt. And I was like, oh my god, he loves her. And then I was like, no, he wants to kill her. Like, okay, that's really that crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
okay,
that is not...
wait. I don't think he wanted to kill her though, because when we're introduced to him, don't make that face.
I don't know what does he want then?
Listen,
I don't get Leslye on the phone. I have a lot of questions.
When Nathaniel is introduced, and I feel like he's the most interesting character just because of this duality, because when he's introduced, he's like this very Christian Catholic man that prays every single day and cures everybody. And then he sees this object, this woman, and he's like, you're like heavenly. I need to have you inside me. So it's like, maybe Leslye was trying to do something and talk about something about the church and religion. Maybe I didn't get it, but there's something there. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I do feel like it was interesting what Jamie just said about how he was presented as being very good, but he was a monster. And a lot of people almost viewed Ava as being a monster, but she was really good. So it's kind of like there's this duality there. But again, I recognize that, but what does that mean? Like, what's the point? Like, where are we going with this? What are we trying to say with this?
See, yeah. I only recognize it now because you just said it. Like, maybe I'm just like a dumbass, but like I was not picking it up when I was reading it. I was just like, cool.
I don't know. I feel like this story, because I feel like this is a story. Like, I kind of feel like I wonder, like, am I too dumb for this? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many layers of this. I'm like, am I just not getting it? Do I need to read it 5 times to understand it? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like it's very anti-Catholic.
Oh.
Yeah, it did not really have a very good viewpoint on... Yeah, and what was up with the whole, like, people thought she was an angel because she had, like, angel wings, but like, what is that? Like, what is that about? I don't get that. What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know.
I think there was this one point where 2 characters were talking. Oh, wait, Gabe and the mom. And she was like, why do you want her to fly? Like, she's not supposed to fly. And he's like, she has wings. She has to learn to use them. And I feel like there's a metaphor there. But again, with Jamie, I just feel like I'm too dumb to understand what Leslye was trying to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel the same way. Because I was watching reviews after and everyone's like, oh my gosh, this is like the most beautiful thing. And I'm like, maybe it's just me. But it seems like all of us agree.
Yeah.
So like, I think it's just one of those books that will work for you or it won't.
It was working on my last nerve. Kidding. I really didn't hate it that much. Like, I had to make the joke, but Someone said over here in the chat a good point. Meryl Van Kessel, sorry if I said that wrong. They said, I don't get why a quote about love is on the cover and the book is promoted like it's about love, but Ava literally is not falling in love. Like, this is not a love story, right? It's. I mean,
there's like
this
that
was
really,
not a romantic book to me.
Yeah, there was that tiny romantic subplot between her and her like BFF's brother. Forgot his name.
Ro.
But like, yeah. But yeah.
I think a central theme of this book is love, because Ava is always talking, well, Ava as the narrator, she's always talking about how love always makes us fools. And then every single generation, we just learn what women did for love, which is dumb. But at the same time, it kind of revolves around love, even though it's not a very romantic story.
Okay, Charlie Bravo is here, which, side note, that's an amazing name. Charlie Bravo is here to steal my wig in the comments because they said this is definitely a book about love and all the different ways people experience it and the stupid stuff it makes people do.
Exactly.
Okay, then you just said that. They just said that. My wig. If you wanted my wig, you could have just asked. You know what I mean? But like, okay, I get it. Like, hands up, I get it.
Jacob, what do you want to say?
While I was reading it, so when I started it, it reminded me a lot of the movie Practical Magic because of like the different generations and like the love. I thought it was going to turn into like they have like a curse on the family so that no one can fall in love and then they break the curse or whatever. But then it turned into me like feeling like it reminded me of the movie Penelope, which is a movie about a girl who's born with a pig face and then like she learns to like love herself. And I watched it yesterday too because that reminded me a lot of like this.
Oh my God, I love that.
Anyways, right at the end, you know, when after the scene and then like the thing happens, is everyone on the same page?
All right, yeah.
Like her wings, blah, blah, and then at the end, when like the last page happens, it reminded me a lot of like self-love. So like she learns to love herself again after that event.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
what
I
I'm
did.
thinking
Yeah, actually, can we talk about that? Because I feel like that's another thing you could interpret in different ways. So it seems like you interpret it in like a good, like, oh, you know, but I think maybe just because I was like,
just
I like thought she like died.
Okay. I thought she was like literally jumping off the roof.
Yeah,
like,
that's
you know,
what I
like
thought.
what is happening? You know
Like,
what I mean?
just bye.
Yeet.
Did you just say yeet? I love that. I can. Because like I get it. Because it felt the way it was written was very positive. Like she was like, I hope he would look at me and smile. Which I don't think he would be all happy if she was like, you know, but
well, because I thought like she was just like, I'm moving on sort of thing. I don't know. So it's like, remember me. Oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I feel like everyone in the chat is saying they thought it was, you know, a kind of moment. So
I thought it was an open ending.
No, it definitely was. Like, yeah, I think it just shows our personalities.
I mean, it felt very positive, but I don't understand what it's supposed to mean. I feel like you're right. I feel like it's supposed to be open to interpretation.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I like Jacob's interpretation the best.
I mean, that's definitely the happiest.
Yeah. I hope that's what it was.
But like, okay, everyone is like, I thought it was literal, but like, she didn't have, did they just grow back?
Yeah, they grew back as like wonderful white wings.
It was like evolution.
Yeah.
2.0, like
metamorphosis.
Pokemon. She had like brown wings and now she's black wings.
Yes.
I can't.
Actually, yeah, I like that.
Okay, well then I don't know. I guess I missed that part. I thought I don't know. Because I remember I reread the ending a couple of times because I was like,
no, well, I looked it up as well, and it seems like everyone has a different interpretation.
Oh.
Also, is Ava's brother like autistic?
Henry?
Yeah.
On the spectrum.
At one stage, I literally thought he was time traveling. I don't even know why.
I would not have been surprised at that point. That would have been like maybe that would have been more interesting. I don't know.
I was like, why is he talking to his like relatives? I'm like, is he time traveling? Is he? And then I don't know. I just kind of moved on from that theory.
Wait. So was the sad man one of the the dead relatives.
Yeah, it was
Ren.
Pear.
I thought it was Nathaniel.
I thought the sad
One
man
that
was
gets shot in the
Nathaniel.
face.
Oh.
Oh, Renee. It was
I
Renee.
just thought it was a new character called Sad Man.
It's the brother that gets shot in the face for being too pretty or something.
Ren.
But then why? Like the sad man was like mean, wasn't he?
No,
Like,
because he was warning him, like, "Hey, your sister, she's gonna get that."
No, but I remember
She's
he
gonna
said
get
something
that.
like,
She's gonna get in trouble.
I'm gonna try and find it because I remember the sad man said something like mean to Henry.
Shock.
Yeah, he was like, I have a name.
Oh, actually,
Oh,
I'm
but I found
look
it
up.
really sad when wait, can we talk about spoilers? Well, we're already
We have spoiled
yeah.
this. Yeah, we spoiled this book like 20 minutes ago,
Yeah.
so sorry about it. Oh, look at
I
that.
know.
Coming in 20 minutes
It kind of covers
late.
Jacob's whole face.
Oh, that's
Okay, I'm gonna
amazing.
get rid of it because it covers Jacob's whole face.
That's fine.
What's the name of the mom? No, the grandma. Did you guys find the scene
Emmeline.
where Emmeline, she finally sits down in the piano?
Yes.
I found it so sad. Like, I just started sobbing.
I thought that was so beautiful, though.
Yes.
Like, I thought it was, I was so happy because I feel like she was so tormented, you know,
Yes.
all her life with all these horrible visions of her family. And then it was like, everything was like peaceful.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I thought that was really
very
sweet.
beautiful.
Which again, that was like a positive thing, and I feel like it was a sad thing that happened in the story because the character died, but it was positive. Which again, with the ending, it was a positive thing. So was it sad in the story?
Jamie's face.
I just forgot that scene, so I'm like,
No, I know.
trying to remember it.
I'm trying to remember that scene. I'm like,
Oh my god.
Yeah, just- oh.
literally.
I cannot. I remember it was on that one page.
I'm going through my tabs. Literally 2:40.
I thought you said you didn't tab anything.
Oh no, I didn't tab any quotes.
Oh,
Because Kevin was asking for the quotes, and I was like, yeah, I actually didn't tab any quotes. Like, there weren't any quotes that stood out to me.
oh, shade.
No, like anyway. But yeah, literally 2:49. Why haven't I seen it before? Gabe loves me, and it's when Jack comes, and I'm like, oh my god. Like,
Oh yeah.
it was,
Like, I'm just gonna say it. I feel like Gabe was too good for Vivian. Like,
Oh my God,
she was
yeah.
kind of
Oh,
a B. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. She was like all hung up on this guy who was not there for anyone, wasn't there for the family, wasn't there for her. He did all this stuff for the kids, and then she was like mean to him. I'm like, I am not following.
I was horrified when she and Gabe had an argument, and then she's just like, "Leave my kids alone," and it's like, has he not been there their entire
I know.
life?
I know that was, and she's like, why are you even here? Like, it's pathetic. I'm like,
Yeah, she
Oh my
had
God,
some issues that needed to be resolved. You know what I mean?
also, can we talk about where did Gabe come from? Because I was kind of confused when like he just showed up, and then it's like, oh, put him in the house. Like,
Yeah, they were just like, you could live here now. I'm like, okay.
No, they talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
how they used the house to like let some guests stay for a while, and he was one of the guests that just came back.
But like, I get that, but like, there's no other guests at all in the entire story. So like, I know they said that, but like,
Well, Gabe never left, so they didn't have any more space.
but like, wouldn't they be like, can you go?
no, they're just like, you live here now. You're one of us.
Oh my god. I mean, why would you want Gabe to leave though? Because he like fixed everything.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
the Anna edition said literally the worst part of this book is having to read about Vivi's BS for 15 years.
Oh.
I'm gonna print that. I'm gonna print that and send that to Leslye Walton.
Because like with Emmeline, I can understand why she's like that. She's obviously been through so much.
Mm.
But Vivian, like, just that one heartbreak, like, it's not like, I mean, I know that sounds kind of mean. Like, obviously, everyone experiences things differently, but like, I don't know. it's hard.
Maybe like, take a long bath, do a face mask, and like make a cup of tea. Like how was it? Like 50 years?
It was way too long.
Yeah,
it's way too long.
Like men don't deserve that.
I know.
And like he like moved away, like right. They had gone to Seattle for a long time, then they like came back. So I'm like, he wasn't even there. You weren't even seeing him. Like,
yeah,
build a bridge, sister, and get over it.
Yeah.
And like when he comes back, he wants to be with her. I'm just like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
And poor thing on his wife too.
Oh my god, I hated that scene.
Yeah.
I'm glad she went.
No, but she's just like, well, better get out of here then. She probably got over it way quicker.
When he was being so dramatic, like sitting by the fire, like, I've lost the love of my life.
She's like, you haven't lost me. And he's like, not you.
So like demonic. Oh, I couldn't. No. Men, no.
He became his dad. Literally.
Oh, yeah.
We don't stand the Griffiths.
We do not.
Oh, I thought you said I do. I was like, oh.
Eject from the. I agree. I don't like them. Who else did I don't know who I even liked in this book. I mean,
I
like,
liked Bro.
Yeah, he was precious, and I feel like what's her name, Cardigan was
Cardigan was
fine.
funny. She was chaotic evil, but like charismatic.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Although she did that really weird thing when they went to that party, and she was like gonna push her off that cliff. I'm like, okay, let's reel it in, crazy.
Friend goals.
I know. Yeah. I was like,
just BFF things, pushing your friend off a cliff. Like, what? I can't with that. Like that, I was very concerned that Ava was gonna be like, never talk to me again. But then it was like, fine. I'm like, okay, I guess we have different standards. That's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be like, no, don't talk to me. I'd probably block him. At least.
Yeah, and also like the whole strapping of the wings with the cloak, I just had the weirdest image, and like it was painful for me to read those scenes. Not that I have wings, obviously, but like I can just imagine having to like force them down. It'd be painful.
They're under that sweater right now. She's like, oh.
Like it must be some huge cloak. Like surely it's not that. Like people would notice it.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel like if they're back there, like does she like look like a hunchback? Like does she just have this weird like lump on her shoulder? Like
to be completely flat with it. Because
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the anatomy of a wing on a human shoulder blade. I don't know.
You know, I think even though like I didn't absolutely love this book, I think if it was like a Studio Ghibli movie or something, they could make it work.
I agree with you. I just feel like it didn't work as like book format.
Yeah. Wait, Isabella, what was that face as soon as I said that? You had some face.
Because like I hadn't thought about it until you said it, but then I started thinking about it, and it's like I have the soundtrack ready to go.
Oh, really?
Already painted. Like, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, and I think it would work better as like an animated thing. Because I was picturing humans and like there was something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, actually, maybe it would be a bit too gruesome.
Yeah.
Like that. Actually, yeah, maybe not. Well, then you'd have to take some things out.
Yeah, I feel like we'd have to take out that scene.
Yeah.
And the
because that was a bit hideous.
That scene was traumatizing.
It was like, for me, it was just like, that was one of the reasons why I think it went down so quickly, is just because I felt like it was really, really unnecessary. Like, it just, I don't know. And it just kind of all of a sudden like happened. And I just like wasn't ready. And I was just like, no.
It was also confusing to me because, I mean, first of all, the whole thing was just terrible, point blank. But then they had said early on in the story when Ava was born that if they couldn't possibly remove her wings or she would have died. But then this like weirdo just cut them off, and she was like, I mean, she wasn't completely fine, obviously, but like she was fine. Like she didn't die immediately as we were led to believe. So I was kind of confused by that because it felt, I mean, I feel like the whole thing was meant to be symbolic, obviously, like she lost her wings, you know, but
they forgot.
It didn't feel like it fit into the rules that had already been established, which is why I was confused.
Yeah, that's true. Also, so did the siblings kill Nathaniel? Or was it the parents? No, it wasn't the parents.
What happened?
I think it was the siblings.
Yeah, I think it was
Didn't Nathaniel become dust?
yeah, he got like burnt.
Yeah, he got drugged straight to hell, girl.
That's what he deserves.
They were like, come with us.
But I was also thinking, like, if they can do that, why wouldn't they do that before?
That's a really good point.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, were they literally
why
just
they,
like sitting
watching
around
the
like,
whole
okay,
time?
well now we got to do something. Like, wait.
No, yeah, it's like I was just picturing them watching the whole time, and then it's like, wow, why would you do that? And then like, but I'm like, why wouldn't you do it while he was doing it, or while like just before you realized he was gonna do it?
Wait, so they have powers to kill people?
Apparently,
Apparently.
at least light them on fire.
I thought he just disappeared, like how the sister became a bird.
No, it literally said that because the mom Vivian was in the car in the truck, and she was like, the only thing left in the air was the scent of singed flesh.
Ew. I didn't know that.
I'm just saying that's a lovely little image for y'all to take away because that's literally word for word what it said.
Get that quote on your body.
Yeah,
tattoo.
that's a quote board. That's like a vision board moment. Nothing like the smell of singed flesh in the morning.
I love how literally all the comments like, what the actual frick is happening in this book? Is this book a murder mystery? It's just
I don't
murder
know.
mystery.
I mean, I feel like that's what irritates me is like, I know we're like dragging this book because like it's kind of easy to drag it, but like I feel like I did like it. You know what I mean? Like it did feel important in some way. I don't know how else to say it, but like it had this sense of atmosphere, and like Jacob was saying, it reminded me of Practical Magic, which is also has that same, I mean, not in this way, it's not on that level, but it's that weird like magical realism-y kind of and I don't know, I just like I fundamentally understand that. I just feel like I wish the execution here was a little differently. I wish it had been more about Ava, because it really wasn't, in my opinion, it really wasn't about Ava. Like, I mean, I guess she's the protagonist because she starts the story, but I mean, like we were talking earlier, and what did you say, Jamie? It's like page 100
It's page
something.
115 that
Yeah,
she
100,
actually like
yeah.
comes into the story.
115 pages before the protagonist is even introduced. I mean, that's a choice as an author. It's a storytelling device. I don't know if it was the right call in this instance, but
yeah, and she was the narrator as well. Like she was like in those early chapters, she was being like my grandmother and my mother. Like she was telling the story. She was the storyteller. But it just felt like the beginning, because for such a short book, I felt like the beginning was too bloated of all the family history. And I found myself like flipping the pages to try and get to like her bit.
Yeah.
Wait a minute though. You just said something. I'm confused. Okay, no, wait. No. I may have just cracked the code. Nancy Drew is on the case. At the beginning of the book, she has an intro that she signs March 2014. The story ends in like 1960, right? So clearly she's alive.
Oh,
Jacob, you were right.
oh my gosh, you are Nancy Drew.
You're welcome.
Oh my god. I didn't even pick up on that.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, that
it
is
says
so
like it's
cool.
dated. The last like journal entry that we read is like 1956 or something.
What?
Wait, I'm trying to find it and that was an interesting thing too, because everything was kind of, it wasn't really from any character's point of view, was it? But then we had these, but then we had these journal entries from Nathaniel, so he could like have a point of view.
Oh yeah, where'd that come from? So maybe he posted them to like. I know
So wait, did that mean that she like went and like stole his diary? Like,
yeah, I'm confused now.
it. Oh wait, okay. The last journal entry from Nathaniel is June 21st, 1959.
Disgusting.
So disgusting. 1959. Disgusting. I feel like that as the court will see, the evidence empirically proves Ava Lavender is alive and well. That's what they should have called the
I
book.
love that.
It's alive and well.
You know what I was thinking? It would have made a lot more sense if the book was like called The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of like the Lavenders.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I think-
Yeah.
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 Because
I was just thinking about that.
yeah, because when I first started reading it, like I was like, I think this always happens whenever I expect like a certain thing to be the main plot, and then it isn't. I'm just bored in the beginning. So in the beginning, I was like, oh great, here are all these people.
But see, that to
And
me,
then-
I agree with that because I feel like that to me is a failure between marketing and the actual book. Like they're trying to sell this book in my opinion, kind of a false way because it literally says like it's all about Ava and Henry, and she's 16, and she meets this boy, and it's going to build to a dark and heartbreaking crescendo. Fair, but there's nothing literally at all in the synopsis about prepare for 100 pages of extended family backstory. Like that's not in here, you know?
But it's also
Yeah.
interesting because once I realized like this is what it is, I actually got really into it, and then I didn't want to move on. And I actually think my favorite person to read about was Emmeline.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, yeah. I
What
like
about you?
I want like a whole like spin-off of like just her
I
life.
think she was the most interesting.
But to be fair, we basically got her entire life. Because
Yeah.
it starts when she's born and then it
Yeah,
goes all the way. So it's like, I mean, really, is she the main character? I feel like you could argue. Is this
She-
even about Ava Lavender? I don't know.
He should be the main character.
Yeah. I was interested in Vivian's story in the beginning, but then once she started getting older and more like toxic, I was like, maybe not.
Yeah, I think Vivian's my least favorite, definitely.
Yeah.
Someone said that Ava was given the journal, and she said it took a few years for her to open it. I do not remember that.
Neither.
I think she maybe said that before the first journal entry. There's something about why there's a journal entry. So, okay, now that because I forgot, honestly, because this book was so winding, that the prologue is literally Ava Lavender saying that it's the character is writing the book,
Yeah.
which I feel like does change it a little bit.
Why?
Because it's like she's telling the story the way that it feels to her, not necessarily the way that it always was.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
She also mentions that there are some parts that aren't like written down in records, so she has to like make up some parts. So maybe that's what happens when Nathaniel just like evaporates. Maybe.
Right. Like maybe
Oh.
that wasn't maybe she's just telling herself
Yeah.
that her ancestors did something.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see
Maybe.
that.
Or because her mother apparently saw it. So maybe it's like that's what her mother told her. Whether it's true or not, who knows? Does the truth even matter?
But was the whole thing a metaphor? Does she not actually have wings?
Oh, we all just have shook.
I have so many questions.
Me too.
I need Leslye on the phone. So if we can make that happen, please. Just what if a
love
6
that.
little box just popped up right here and it was like Leslye and she was like, I have some shit to say. Like, oh,
Imagine if we did a live show with the author. Oh, that
He
would
somehow gets the link
and,
Oh my god.
no.
from the side.
I'm gonna email her.
I was like, yeah, it was really great.
be-
Was it?
But yeah, I would just love to like. Can she just explain? Like, I mean, I like when you're it's sort of open to your own interpretation. But I also just want to know, like, what did you?
Like, what
Like-
was your intention?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is there no interview of her explaining it?
There must be, because I'm confused.
I'll look.
I mean, I feel like no. I feel like if you write the book like that, you know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was probably trying to be Ava Lavender.
What
While
if
writing.
she is Ava
What?
Lavender?
It's a biography.
Oh, that
What
would
if she
be so
had
sad.
This is a pen
Yeah.
name.
She drank a Red Bull.
Her name.
I'd feel so bad if it was like because we're talking like not.
Well, yeah, like hopefully.
No, but yeah. So how about we just say right now, is our rating the same after talking about it? Because I think mine is 2.5.
I feel more comfortable with a 3, to be honest with you. Or like, I would still say 3.5. I don't know. I have really mixed feelings about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick to my guns and say it's still a 2 for me personally.
Wait, okay, I'm sorry. Before I say like my final rating, can I read like what inspired Leslye to write this book?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so she says, I had recently gone through a breakup and was dealing with the kind of heartbreak that only comes with the loss of young love. And then she discovered Vivian Lavender, a girl who spent her entire life pining after a childhood sweetheart. There you go. That's it. That's
so Vivian was the first.
That turned into winds and witches. And
I feel like that is the weirdest breakup flex ever. Like, like JB was like, most people do a face mask, you know what I mean? Like maybe eat some ice cream. She was like, I'm gonna write a whole fantasy world about this little girl with these wings, and like you're gonna see, Jeremy, you're gonna freaking see what you did. Like
Jeremy found dead in Miami right now. Like,
yeah, right.
That book.
Yeah, she pushed him off the roof. That's the real ending. She went fly. She swooped in and pushed his ass out into traffic, and then that was that.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so my final rating, it's like a 2.5 as well.
That's
Before we started the live show, it was a 3, and now it's 2.5.
Oh,
I still feel the same, 3.5. Don't know.
That's good.
It's just because it feels so much like it feels like my favorite movies, like Penelope and.
I think I'm with Jacob on this. Like it's like 3.5. Like that. I'm feeling that vibe.
But
so I don't know what I'm.
about,
Go for it.
Like this needed like major trigger warnings because like you look at it, it's like, oh, cute, nice, fluffy, but then it's like, what is going on?
Right.
Like when I watched Isabella's vlog and you were like talking about trigger warnings, I was literally like, my heart was sinking. I was like, oh my gosh, we did not give anyone, because like I honestly didn't know. Like I
it doesn't say it anywhere.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
that
so
was
yeah.
definitely a shock.
And you think because it looks like this that it's fluffy and nice, but then it like turns into something completely dark.
I mean,
it's like,
it definitely.
I definitely, because I know it says the strange and beautiful sorrows, so I thought that meant it was going to be like poignant, like young love, fitting in, heartbreak, not dismemberment, among other things. Like that's not what I thought this was going to be at all. So yeah, that would have been. I wish I had known that because I did not know that.
Yeah.
So Caitlin is asking what it should warn against, and I think like the trigger warnings that I would give it is to rape and depression and like violence. I don't know if you guys have any other warnings.
Suicide and animal abuse, I also wrote.
Oh yeah.
Emotional abuse.
Oh
from the
yeah.
father,
Yeah.
Father.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not on that.
There's a lot. Like even that scene with like the birds, like when she first walks into Nathaniel's house, I was literally like, and it was so graphic. I was like,
and then the other scene as well when like they were kids and that like guy just comes along and like stamps on a bird, and I'm just like,
I know.
I was like, okay then.
Yeah.
Like, okay, all right. Somebody clearly has some issues we're working through today.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary knowing that came from the breakup. Like not that specific scene, but like, you know, just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh my God. AVA Lavender.
That's Leslye Walton punching the key code into my security alarm to come kick my ass is what that is.
Oh my God. Yeah, so
I really think that it starts off, sorry. I really think that it starts off quite strong. Like you're like, where is this going? But then it like fizzles out, and then right at the end, like the last 100 pages, you like binge it because it's just like things are going so fast. The pacing in this book is like really off.
Oh yeah,
like it's all over the place.
She's gone.
You've had enough.
She did not. She was like, nope, we're done with that. Oh, hi, welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
Scruffy needed to be let out. Yeah, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, I wanted to say sorry because I honestly thought we were all gonna love this. Like I thought I was gonna love it. I thought everyone was gonna love it. So I feel bad.
No, I still like enjoyed my
I
experience.
like it.
Like I actually kind of okay, this is gonna sound weird, but I actually like reading books that I don't really like because it kind of like lets me open up my kind of like the critical side of my brain a little bit more. So I do enjoy reading like a wide variety of books that I feel differently about. So thank you.
Plus, I feel like it does help when you read a book that maybe you don't love. You can think about like why you didn't like it, and then like maybe magical realism's not for me, or maybe this particular author is just not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think this is a good book to discuss. So I don't regret reading it.
No.
Like I had a good time, sort of.
I think there's actually even in my edition, there's like questions in the back like for your book club.
Is
like
there?
Yeah, they were literally like
Bring them out, King.
okay. I have not looked at them till right now, so I'm afraid. Like I don't know what they're gonna say. Questions to consider. The 3 lavender women face tragedy in their lives. How does each woman respond to these events? What do those responses say about them? And do you think the responses fit the characters?
Not in the paperback, if anyone wants to know.
They're not in it because I have a paperback one. I don't know.
Oh well.
Is it like UK and American thing?
Maybe that's the US paperback.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I'm the only American in this live show?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I was gonna say we're from different countries, but then I realized we're totally not.
Well, Neil, just get Jacob out of here. No, I'm kidding.
What did you just say to me?
No, Jacob.
Because
me and Jacob are in the same country.
Oh.
You thought it was you.
And then let's see. Would the people of Okay, so also Pinnacle Lane, like I guess Mulberry Street was taken. Okay. Would the people of Pinnacle Lane have accepted Ava had she not been attacked, or was the horror of what happened to her necessary for them to accept her? In other words, is empathy necessary for acceptance? I'm gonna go with no.
Yeah, no.
Like I only like my friends after they've been attacked.
That is like I don't like that question.
Like I only become friends with people that I pity. Like no.
That is the worst thing.
That's not a good question.
That is the worst. I'm so
That
confused.
makes me wonder, like, why she included that whole scene in there. Like,
which scene?
Yeah,
the bad one.
The bad one?
The bad, the bad one.
Oh, the bad one. Okay, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, that makes if she wrote that question,
I don't think she wrote these questions. I think somebody else wrote the questions.
Okay.
Well, whoever wrote that question,
I don't know. Maybe she wrote. It doesn't say that she wrote them. And then, okay, let's see. Do you think what happens to Nathaniel at the end is justified? Would you have preferred a more traditional or perhaps less obtuse form of punishment?
Obtuse?
Light his ass up. He had it coming. Like, bye. Line them all up. Get the lighter fluid. Like, move on. Like, fuck it. No, go for it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he deserves that.
Yeah, like he knew what he was doing. Okay, wait. Oh, we literally already did this one in advance, so go us.
Oh.
The ending has caused much debate among readers. What do you think happens? Does Ava succumb to her dark thoughts, or does she finally allow herself to fly?
Jacob, tell him.
Well, I mean, we cracked the code because at the beginning it has the letter.
Actually, that's kind of stupid. Like we already know.
Plot foiled. Okay, no shenanigans. Let's see.
Mythbusters.
Yes. The novel begins with Emmeline's story and continues to Vivian's before leading into Ava's at page 115. How does this structure contribute to the reader's experience as well as affect the overall plot? It slows it the heck down. I think we all agreed about that.
Yeah.
But I do also think it's interesting. I do also feel like I was more connected to the family as a whole. You know what I mean? As opposed to just feeling connected to any one character. I felt like I was connected to them as a system. That makes sense?
Right. Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, however, it did kind of like hinder my experience because it kind of made me care about each like individual so much less.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Maybe if they had more time, like it wasn't as short and they could develop it further.
It
maybe.
was short, wasn't it? Only 300
really
pages. I mean, which like is fine by me because like I did not want 500 pages of this, but it was quick.
Yeah.
And then there was someone, let's see, question 4. Wilhelmina says, just because love don't look the way you think it should, don't mean you don't have it.
Who's
Do
that?
you agree? Wilhelmina in the bakery. She works in the bakery.
Who's Penelope? I thought she worked in the bakery.
There's 2 people that work in the bakery.
Penelope is like the young.
Wait, what was the question? Sorry.
Yeah.
Just because, gentlemen, ladies, gentlemen, just because love don't look the way you think it should, don't mean you don't have it. Do you agree?
I agree, especially with the movie Penelope.
I like that you're citing sources. That's good. A+.
I mean,
But
yeah.
it's true. I really enjoy the whole concept of like self-love, like learning to love yourself. That's why I love the movie. It's a good movie. Everyone go watch it.
Yeah, I like want to watch. Is it on Netflix? I guess it doesn't matter because we're in different countries. So I guess I will have to investigate.
It has Christina Ricci in it. And James McAvoy.
Christine Riccio?
Legend.
Oh,
Christina Ricci.
sorry.
Oh my God.
Yes, Christine Riccio plays Penelope.
Wait. Did you say that, Jacob, or did you say Christine Ritchie?
Christina Ricci.
Yeah, I knew that.
She plays Wednesday Addams.
Yeah.
She's in Castle.
Oh.
I don't know why that's so funny, but that's really funny to me. And then the last question. Okay, the novel is set in a fictitious neighborhood in Seattle. Wait, I thought this was its own town. Apparently, we're in Seattle the whole time.
I did
News to
not
me.
read that.
How does the setting contribute to the mood of the story? What role does it play in the plot?
I mean,
Does it?
I like the small town vibe.
Like it could take place anywhere.
Like everybody knows each other.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I honestly don't know.
I really did not know that it was in Seattle the whole time. Like, I literally thought it was like its own town. I didn't
me
realize
too.
it was just supposed to be a neighborhood.
You know, it reminded me a lot of the town in The Witches of Eastwick. Like, you know,
Yes.
yeah, anyone?
Yes,
I
yes,
feel
But
you.
I'm with you.
there's that villainous chick who's like super like faithful. She reminds me a lot of Nathaniel, and then she turns into like the bad lady. Yeah.
With the cherries. Well,
Yeah, with the cherries. Ooh, with the cherries.
I feel like that's a good point. That's I feel like this the reason why I did like this, even though it had its problems, is it reminded me of so many other things that I really do like. Because like I mean, like if we're gonna be honest, like I mean, I'm not gonna go there because I don't feel like everyone has seen it. But like if we were gonna like analyze the Witches of Eastwick, like that movie is crazy. You know what I mean? But like I love that movie, and like even Practical Magic is crazy. But like I love that movie. So like maybe this is crazy and I like it anyway. I don't know.
I
I'm
get
having a
that.
crisis. I don't know how I feel about this book.
I just like the vibes, the whole atmosphere. Really good. Just the writing was terrible. Ooh. Wasn't really told well.
Oh.
Just
Oh,
And
it's
I
a good story. It just needs to be told differently.
Yeah.
We need to go in the chat. Kevin, Irish reader. He said, "You reckon it would be told better if it was like Illuminae?" I think it would have been told better if it was like formatted like Illuminae, and like if it included like sketches of her wings, maybe sketches of like the
Oh,
building.
yes.
It is really good, like with drawings in it.
Yes. Or even like a graphic novel, I feel that would be.
Graphic novel too.
But just don't include that scene.
Yeah, I don't need to see that. I can't know that.
Yeah, that's true.
Why am I going to court?
Yeah, you're going to court. This is you being served.
I think that's why I really thought I was gonna love it, because like it sounded like it was gonna be amazing.
It looked like it was going to be amazing.
Yeah,
I feel like,
Pretty cover.
but now that I even read it, like even the synopsis is vague. Like everything about this is so vague. I'm like, can no one make a decision in this entire room? Like, pick a side. Like, geez, Louise.
Yeah.
Entrancing and sumptuously written. Sumptuous? Is that really the language we want to go with here? Oh, this is interesting. A particularly toothsome and pleasurable read. Has anyone heard the word toothsome before right now?
No.
I'm writing that in the chat.
I
So
just
everyone
get
go
gummy
look this up, expand your vocabularies. Because apparently that is a real word that someone used on this book.
Toothsome.
What does it
Like,
even
there's
mean?
a lot to bite your teeth into? Like, because I feel like there's not.
It's just this book, you just shake it and teeth fall out. I don't know. I don't know.
Temptingly tasty.
Scrumptious.
Good looking, attractive.
Not
That's
word
so
I would
toothsome.
describe.
Toothsome? Toothsome means what?
Well, I looked it up and it says of food, temptingly tasty, of a person, good looking, attractive. You're so toothsome.
This book is not right.
Oh, just someone said that to you.
I cannot. If someone said that to me, I'd be like, are you trying to eat me? Like, what does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Ew, yeah. That's weird.
Please,
I think this book
please
could
don't
have-
say that to anyone that you like, people.
I think this book could have benefited from something that happened like overall, like an overall, like overarching something like theme, maybe like a family curse or something. I just think it could have benefited
So
to
cool.
like have something to wrap it all together.
Yeah.
It felt very disjointed.
I agree. I fully agree.
When is your debut novel coming out?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, literally everyone in this chat is like so thirsty for your book right now. Like literally, like we're not even talking about AVA Lavender. Everyone's just like, "Where's the book?" I'm like, "I don't know. Ask him. I don't know."
Okay, I think it's time for the postcards. So we're going to ask 2 questions, and the first person in the chat who says the correct answer will win a postcard. Okay. So is everyone ready?
No,
Yes.
Okay, I'll say my question first.
she doesn't care if I'm ready. She's just gonna do it.
I mean, why do you need to be ready?
Don't yell at me.
Okay. What is Ava's full name, including her middle name?
And punctuation. I don't. There's no
You
punctuation.
have to say it in phonetics.
You have to type it backwards.
Oh, that's
So you
fine.
don't. No, you don't. Don't do that because I don't even know what the right answer would be.
Ava Valine. Ava Yeet left.
Oh, damn, I think my chat's a bit... Oh, someone got it. Allison. Yes, that is right.
Yeah, and everyone was like, "Who's Wilhelmina?" And her name,
Ava Vaseline.
Vaseline. Get out of here. Get out. I love it.
Okay, Spencer's question now.
Okay, y'all ready for a real serious question that I did not come up with 2 seconds ago? So, one of Emmeline's sisters is named Pierrette, and in the book, she turns into a bird. What type of bird does she turn into? Do, 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 do. Oh, yes, Charlie Bravo. Right off the cuff.
Whoa.
A canary.
Canary.
Wow, everybody's getting it. I thought no one was going to know that.
I didn't know.
They're all too freaking smart. You guys are too smart. We come up with a question where like nobody's going to get this. And you all are like, literally, like, everyone knows it. I'm like, oh my God. She turned into a crow and flew to Ketterdam. Yes.
We love a crossover.
Don't we all?
Multiverse.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if like there was just like an Avengers style crossover between a bunch of huge like YA fantasy, like that'd be insane.
Yeah.
Somebody call publishers and then pay me because
Like if Jude met Kaz or something.
oh my right.
Wait, what did you say?
If Jude met Kaz, that would just end the world.
I've never read the
They
Cruel
could rule the
Prince,
world.
like, same.
I just want to see all of
Oh,
it.
interesting. You would hate Carden, I think.
Really?
Who?
Because he sucks. I mean...
I don't doubt I would hate.
And then like if Manon was there as well. Oof.
Oh yeah, Manon's cool. Legend.
She
Sound like a bird? Does anyone else hear that?
There's a magpie up there.
It's a what?
There's a magpie up there.
Oh my god!
It's
It's correct. She's here. Just kidding. Maybe.
It's Leslye. She's in bird form.
Yeah. She had a
here to
bad
sweep you.
breakup, so she turned into a bird. She's gonna come poop on your car.
Okay. I think, is there anything else you want to talk about, or is that all?
I mean, is there anything anyone in the chat wants us to talk about? I feel like we got a lot of it.
Yeah, we covered heaps.
There actually is a
Yeah.
there's a lot to talk about. Maybe we should say something good. Like,
Oh, I'm waiting for you to get attacked by a bird on this line. Like, I am not. Yes, prove it. We need to see.
Can you see it?
No, I just see it like
Right there on the line.
oh, I can see it.
Oh,
It's a big guy. Call it.
I'm fine.
he goes, I'm fine. He's not gonna do that.
But it's just hungry.
Feed it.
The webs.
Yeah, it's starving, and you're just sitting there letting it die.
Wow.
That was way more dramatic than I intended it to be, but you know what? We're just gonna roll with it. I feel like this is descending into hell faster than Nathaniel Sorrow, so maybe we should just wrap this up. Oh no!
Oh my god.
Nice.
Well, okay.
Chloe, are you there? You're like in charge of this.
So many disruptions.
Oh.
Sorry, Callan's just going in and out. But anyway, yeah, thank you so much to everyone who joined us. It's actually such a fun live show, even though most of us didn't love it. It was still an interesting read, and it was good to talk about. And of course, Leslie's like, don't stop it. And of course, everyone's channel links will be in the description, so you should all subscribe to all of these people because they're amazing. So yes, that is all. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Wait.
Wait,